So first of all, welcome to Google's HQ, everybody, on this rainy Friday morning. Thank you so much for taking the whole day out, and that being a Friday. First of all, I'd like to apologize. Unfortunately, I didn't get the memo. I'm dressed down. I ditched my jackets and my suits when I joined Google, but I'm so impressed. All of you are looking so extremely smart today. So a massive, huge round of applause for all of you for showing up and dressing up. Right, so my name is Narinder Patti. I'm a senior sales lead here working within the fintech sector at Google Cloud. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my career. Then I'm going to pivot a little bit about Google, what we do, what we're known for, etc. There's a couple of prizes here as well, so get your thinking caps on. Get it? Thinking cap. I'm a little bit older than you guys, so excuse the jokes. And then we'll go into a little bit more about networking. So Matt touched on the importance of networking, and I'm going to really elaborate on that within the fintech industry itself. And then we'll end up on a call to action for you. Sound good? Great. Okay, so Matt also touched on whether you have a degree or whether you don't. It really is irrelevant. Here at Google, we don't look at degrees. We look at how you are as an individual. Do you have that mindset to really inspire? Do you have that 10x thinking to think outside of the box? There's almost 9 out of 10 people working, certainly within the fintech sector in my department, we all have some form of disability, some form of neurodiversity within us. So that means we're not, your normal person, right? So I want to actually, share with you that we are all here in an inclusive, diverse department and industry within fintech. My career spans from many years across big tech firms. I started my first role at Microsoft, and I was 21 years old, and I thought I landed in this big, huge company out in Winner's Triangle in Reading, and I really had imposter syndrome. I thought, oh my God, these people are so clever. I can't string one sentence together, which is, meaningful. But, I challenged myself. I learned. And I spent 5 years there, and then I took a step out, and then I came back in. I had a mentor who was my skip level manager. That means my manager's manager. I asked him for some guidance. I wanted to get promoted, and I wasn't getting promoted. And I asked him why. I wanted to earn more money. And he said, why do you want to earn more money? I said, I want a flash car. I really want to get a Ferrari. I want to buy nice designer clothes, and I can't afford any of that. And I want a house. And he said, how do you think you're going to get that? I said, well, I really like working in the finance industry. I think I want to move into sales. I was stuck in tech at that time. So he gave me some advice about my career, and the biggest piece of advice that, I'd say I was like a sponge that I listened to. He said, carve out a career for yourself, and if you make a mistake, it's okay, but learn from that mistake and then move forward, having learned and actioning those wrongdoings. So I did make a couple of mistakes in my career. I've worked for Microsoft, I've worked for Oracle, I've worked for an early stage startup. I've also worked for a pre-IPO rocket ship called ServiceNow. Many of you may have heard of. Shares when I joined were $12. They are now at $888. So I sold all mine. That was a mistake. And now I'm here at Google, the coolest of them all. I really didn't think I'd land here. And when they approached me, I was like, I'm too old. I don't have the brains. And again, imposter syndrome kicked in. But I overcame that. I learned. I challenged myself. I've done my exams. That's continuous learning. We encourage everyone to do continuous learning. And that is one thing that you have all got at your disposal today. There's a lot of free exams and training and learning that we at Google have. We'll share some of those resources with you later. Skills Boost, if you just go onto the Google website called Training, you'll be able to get access to a lot of resources and exams that you can take in the comfort of your own home and just to skill yourselves up a little bit. So I'm going to move on in the interest of time. So Google is best known for its search engine, right? Anyone heard of Google it? Brilliant. That smile says it all. So we offer a wide range of products and services, from the Pixel phone to the Chrome browser and to productivity tools, Google Cloud. So we have our data warehouse, we have AI that sits in there, and then in the productivity tools, things like Gmail, Docs, Google Sheets. So here's a quick question for all of you. I did say there were going to be some prizes, so I thought of one question, so I'll leave one prize for Matt for later on, or we could do that at the end. So thinking of Google, first person with their hand up and the right answer gets a prize. What is the name of Google's video sharing platform? Nope. Got it. Actually, let me give you a cap, because I did say thinking caps on. Whoopsie. There you go. Cool. Well done. Now, we also touched on AI, and AI is rapidly transforming fintech. It's being used in various different use cases, but the most common ones that we're seeing is in fraud detection. So we're using real-time transaction data. AI is scanning that to prevent and spot fraud. This is a real game changer. And onboarding onto financial institutions, banks, etc., is becoming more and more difficult. There's more onboarding that's required. There's more checks that are required, etc. Then the other thing that we can look at is personalized customer experiences. So we have chatbots, we have virtual assistants available 24/7 on your banking apps, on anything that we're touching, whether it's retail, whatever it is, that's all powered by AI. And then we look at credit scoring. Now, some of you may not even know what credit scoring is, but this is when we are scored for our ability to get a mortgage, to get a bank account, etc. Traditionally, there were a couple of firms that were used to provide our credit scoring, and that was based on how creditworthy we are. But AI has really pushed this to the boundaries to ensure more inclusive lending. So we're now able to scan payment history, things like rental payments. Do you keep your rent payments up to date? How are your payments with your online behavior, with your purchasing habits? And that all now is being used to formulate your credit worthiness. There's also some fantastic fintech startup programs. For example, Barclays Accelerator program that's powered by tech stars. This is a leading bank-backed accelerator program, and it provides startups with mentorships, resources, and access to a global network of investors. We also have Fintech Innovation Lab. These are global programs that are available. This is where startups can work directly with banks to pilot their technologies and their solutions to validate, is their solution or their idea, is it going to work? Do they need to tweak it? So it's more of a fail-fast method there. Some companies, don't make it through, so they change what they're going to do before all the investment kicks in. And then we have the more broader communities that support the entire fintech ecosystem. So companies like Innovate Finance, you can go on and become a member of that. It's free of charge. The various different memberships that you can get. This is UK's leading industry fintech that connects startups with established financial institutions, such as like a Monzo with an HSBC, or a Revolut with a Barclays, for instance, and also gives you access and connects you with government bodies, which we may not have the direct reach or access to. And then we've got our communities. And within the communities, we've got our regional communities as well, such as FinTech Wales, supporting those regionalised areas. And at Google, now here we have industry-leading funding programs for startups. Now, I'm not going to steal my colleague's thunder. I'm sure she's here somewhere, but Emma's going to go into a little bit more detail about it. And this is where we provide funding, investment, actual dollars to startup owners. And you can start off from being a one-man show or a one-woman show to all the way pre-IPO to Series C, D, and E. So we provide funding for the various different levels of a startup in that journey. Now, I personally truly believe that diversity is crucial for innovation. And the fintech community is really doubling down on this. We're actively working to support LGBT, blacks in fintech, and other communities. A community that I personally have founded here at Google, the Google Cloud Women in Fintech community. Now, this provides a platform for people to network, have mentorships with each other. So a company having mentorships with people like yourselves, or if you're working within a company and you want to move up or you aspire to move to another company, you can get those mentorships with networking. And we also provide professional development. So if you look me up on LinkedIn, there's a whole host of other communities that we have. Now, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to wrap up. You've heard about our communities quite a lot. Matt touched on it earlier about networking. Now, my one piece of advice to you all today is don't underestimate the power of networking. And I'll be around at lunchtime, so please do come and connect. And thank you, and passing over to the next person.